Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Hit the bell, subscribe. We have new content coming out daily. Make sure you subscribe. God bless you guys. 0 staffers in Arizona. How many staffers does the RNC have in Wisconsin or Georgia?
So that's a questionable number. They just announced something yesterday about the ballot early voting stuff that they were wanting to do and to make an investment. The RNC has no choice but to make a significant investment in Wisconsin because the convention's there next year. So
and a lot of their donors are there too.
But to date, they haven't had like really any presence. And this is the same argument that we've heard from Georgia. We had the Georgia state officials down at AtCon with us, the new state party chair, and there just hasn't been enough. And part of the reason is, and I want to make this very clear, the RNC is not well capitalized right now.
Is that public, or that will soon be public? Or
I don't know. It's not real.
We're hearing whispers.
They have to file reports that you can look up yourself, but they're not in good shape, right? So, and that's understand. This is the first 3 months that 6 months that the RNC has not been able to use Trump's name to fundraise. This is the first time because he's a committed candidate, so they can't do that. So they're not raising a ton of money, which is not putting us in a good position heading into next year. And this should just be an open conversation that we have. This isn't secret, right? This isn't secret. This is guys. We need to get the boots on the ground and position the people. So
invest in human capital.
Right before we went to break, you start going through all the investments that people are making through campaigns and everything else. I mean, we could go read through each of these. And
I got one right here. So Koch Network pledges $100 million against Donald Trump.
Yeah. So they're spending $100 million, not in Arizona, not in Georgia, not in Wisconsin.
To run ads against Trump.
They're spending it where?
In Iowa,
New Hampshire, South Carolina, and Nevada.
Yeah, so they could bring down the favorables of the eventual nominee.
So they're actually hurting us in places that we possibly could win, like New Hampshire.
Or Nevada.
Or even hurting us in South Carolina, right, where we have now like 3 or 4 presidential candidates, at least 2, right?
Yep.
So like this is a real situation that we have where we are not spending dollars effectively in the conservative movement. The left is spending every dollar on infrastructure.
So Austin, we're trying to remedy this at Turning Point Action. This is not overly complicated. Why is the Republican establishment so hostile to the idea of hiring full-time people on the ground to do the boring but necessary work?
Well, look, part of it I think is because not like Tyler, thankfully we do have good people at the RNC that are ringing the alarm bell at saying, hey guys, we need to refocus our priorities here, but it's not 2008 anymore in Arizona. It's not. We've had an entire demographic change in some of these places. Georgia's another example. People who have fled from California go to Arizona, Georgia, so there's a demographic change there. But also on the other part of it too, Charlie, is that the conservatives have taken over most of the party, and the establishment still controls a large portion of funding, election apparatus, and they've kind of lost all the footing that they had in some of these states and some of these places of influence, and the conservatives have taken over. The conservative movement today is way more organized than what the Tea Party was in like 2010, 2012, but we're still missing the mechanisms for it, for the complete success. Arizona is a perfect example. Doug Ducey being the governor from here. The Koch brothers used to have a lot of influence in Arizona. Obviously, the McCain machine here in Arizona as well. Yep. That's pretty much all irrelevant now, but they still have just a little bit of the financial resources that we need. And the RNC is the same exact way. The RGA, the NRSC. Mitch McConnell's already said he's not going to dump money into Arizona if a MAGA-type candidate is the Senate nominee.
It looks like it's an abandonment of Arizona.
Right.
Well, they're sour grapes, right?
Yeah, taking their ball and going home.
So what this means on the national level is these individuals that Austin just pointed out are saying, don't give money to conservatives, right? And so at the national level, even just recently, and I was told this, I don't know, I hope it's not true, is that a major donor told me that the national party chair said, we're not investing into Arizona because the establishment has issues.
Rana said that.
Yeah, Rana said that. So it said that we're not investing in Arizona because the establishment has issues with conservatives. It's like, guys, that's not how we win. That's not the job. The job is to bring people together and work together.
We're sacrificing for the country because you lost the primary.